Hi, and welcome back to the New York Virtual Photo Salon. I'm Lavon Hall, your host for this event. Thanks to those that tuned in last time. If you haven't seen the latest episode yet, make sure you check it out. Well, tonight's presentation is a photo based artist that spoke at our in person salon a few years ago. She was so well received because she's constantly being creative. I'm quite ecstatic to have Hernease Davis back to share with us her amazing work. Leave us comments, subscribe, and like this channel. So get relaxed and enjoy the show. Thanks for watching.
Hey everyone, my name is Hernease Davis, and I am a photo based artist and educator living in Brooklyn, New York, in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic, in the midst of a racial reckoning led by the Black Lives Matter movement, in a census year with government elections looming in the distance. I'm also currently a shift artist in residence at the Elizabeth Foundation for the Arts. But really, I've shifted my residency from EFA to my apartment, where I'm continuing to make work within two current series. The first series is entitled A Womb of My Own, and in parentheses, Mistakes Were Made in Development. So I began this series in order to cope with a traumatic event that compelled me to ask, what if I could start over with the care I needed? So, acknowledging that time travel is not a thing yet, I have been working to make my art practice into that womb, where it's essentially a psychological space where I can explore who I am, what I need, accept failure, embrace imperfections, and respond to my body. In my work, I use photograms, cyanotypes, crochet, performance, and sound because I want to incorporate mediums that I use to basically keep myself sane. When I make photograms and cyanotypes, it's time I use to acknowledge my stress. So while laying on these photographic surfaces, I'm listening to music, listening to podcasts, or wringing my arms over my head, or sometimes I take a nap. For those who aren't familiar, photograms and cyanotypes are cameraless photographs where you take a light sensitive surface, place an object on top, expose it to light, and then you develop it. And in my case, I am that object. So I lay my own body on top of these photographic light sensitive surfaces. My photograms are a black and white silver gelatin process, and I developed them in the darkroom. And for my cyanotypes, I use the sun to expose them, and I develop that selectively. I crochet because I enjoy the repetition of the stitch. It's a very comforting rhythm, and it's a practice that has gotten me through stressful subway rides. I crochet blankets in the series, and when I start a blanket, I sing a song while I crochet the foundation chain, and that determines the width. And then I keep crocheting that blanket until it equals my height. So in a sense, my blankets are also self-portraits. When I crochet into my photograms, sometimes I use a pattern, but I also like to improvise and crochet through the photographic paper. And lately, I've been experimenting with crochet installations where I'll use the ceiling and crochet foundation chains to install and shape large cyanotype pieces. Within some of my blanket and cyanotype installations, I'll play sound pieces I call hums. And to make these hums, I use my voice and instinct to create musical textures that I find comforting. I layer my voice to make a rich collection of chords that move or rest around a single note. And every time I make a tone, it is one full exhalation, almost like a meditation. So, since becoming an artist in apartment as opposed to artist in residence, I've taken to working on a second series that I mentioned at the top, which is called New Love. And New Love is a series of cyanotypes that I'm selectively developing and felting with roving wool. So far, the wool has been turquoise only. As for the title, the punctuation is important. It's open quotation marks, dot, 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 new love, period, close quotation marks. And that's important because it's taken from a Bjork song that determined the width of the very first crocheted blanket I made for this series, A Womb of My Own, in parentheses, mistakes were made in development. Also important punctuation. As of now, I'm in this wonderful phase of my work where, because of my womb and because of the mistakes made in my development, I've been challenged to use cyanotypes on fabrics and take advantage of this gradual ultraviolet activated process. So I'm using canvas, silk, and linen so far, taking them outside, laying down on top of them, sometimes falling asleep on them, and then developing them slowly. And what I've learned is that my underlying image, the impression of my body, starts to seep into the chemistry. So this wonderful abstraction occurs where I'm left with the enjoyment of discovery and being confronted with the reality that the image of my body may no longer actually be able to be realized with the development process. And I'm asking myself right now, does that even matter to me? And I ask it all the time, and so far the answer has been no. It may change, but so far it's no. I like the variation of color and discovering new territory with fabrics. Because I'm selectively developing these pieces, I've been able to observe how their colors slowly evolve over the course of time. When will they be finished? I actually have no idea. And that is another new yet photographic challenge that these cyanotypes are presenting. These pieces are asking me to be honest with myself, to reflect on change, and to enjoy this blue abstraction of time and image.
Thank you, Hernease. I love all your work, but I'm especially intrigued by the cyanotypes. I feel quite zen now. Hope that was a relaxing and enjoyable presentation for all. Please give it a thumbs up, leave comments, and subscribe to see our upcoming artists. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in, and the New York Virtual Photo Salon Committee. I'm Lavon Hall, and we'll see you soon.